Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a video review. And for this review, we're going to be taking a look at Code Vein, if I'm saying the name correctly, for the PS4. Game is also available on the Xbox One and PC via Steam, but for this review, I'm going to be talking about the PS4 version. And if you're interested in any gameplay footage of me playing Code Vein on the PS4, I'll have a link in the description and you could check it out. When it comes to Souls-like games, that's what we that's one of the genres we refer to it. Is that anytime some games like Code Vein or any others, we often refer to them as Souls-like games. These are games that follow sort of the approach that Demon Souls and Dark Souls set up, basically from a very challenging game to, you gotta be very careful. You can't go rushing in, because if you do, you get yourself killed and you can lose all your or at least lose certain items that can, and you have to work your way back up and picking up all that stuff. So we often refer to these games as soul-like games. And as far as soul-like games go, I'm not really the biggest fan of them though, but there are some that I really do enjoy. Noih, N-O-I-H, from Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja is one of my favorite ones. That one has a bit of an Onimusha vibe to it. And I will say even Bloodborne, which is made by the same folks who did Dark Souls, which to some degree I always felt like that game had a little bit of a Resident Evil 4 vibe to it as well. And we even saw games like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order follow into the footsteps of basically the Souls-like approach, although that had a little bit of Metroidvania thrown into it as well. And of course, the developers of Soul-likes had created the Game of the Year, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is definitely, it is a little tough, but also definitely enjoyable nevertheless. So basically, Bandai Namco, the publisher that have published basically 3 of the Dark Souls games, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, comes from their own game, not from FromSoft, and that is Code Vein. And while Code Vein is still a Souls-like game, though, it is a fun Souls-like game. So why don't we get started with the pros and the cons? And we'll start off first with the pros. And I will say, from the visuals though, and the visuals I will say looks nice. The game obviously runs on Unreal Engine 4. The game has sort of an anime or wafu style like to it though. I mean, the visuals look kind of similar to games like, say, God Eater and so forth though. And I also like the fact the game has a little bit of a Gothic / Castlevania vibe to it to a certain degree, even though this game isn't Castlevania in any way. So visually, I like the anime style to the game. The next thing I do want to talk about is the gameplay, and obviously the gameplay follows closely to, the whole Dark Souls formula and so forth. That said, I feel like the game, like Noih was in a way, it has a little bit, feels a bit more like a hack and slash to a certain degree. I mean, it's not like hack and slash like, say, like the Warriors games or anything like that. You still have to watch your stamina meter and so forth, and be very careful when tackling certain enemies. Otherwise, they could overpower you, and you could lose a lot of progress and all that stuff. So it still has a bit of that Souls-like feel to the game, but it does have a little bit. But like I mentioned, like Noih does, it does have a little bit of that hack and slash vibe to it. So from a gameplay perspective, it is fun. And last but not least is the leveling up system in Code Vein. Now, playing basically games like Noih and Dark Souls and all that stuff, the leveling up system, I mean, you have different areas that you can level up and so forth. Even Noih, which I consider that my favorite Souls-like game, has different areas you can level up, like your health, your body, and all that stuff. Code Veins kind of just simplifies that, though. It's basically, if you level, like when you collect like enough of like the souls and all that stuff, or the souls-like currency in Code Vein, you can basically level up your character, and that's it. You don't have to level up their health or their stamina or anything like that. It's just that you use your currency to level up your character, and it's it's done. It's very, to me, I thought it was like very simple and all that stuff, and that certainly is a good thing. So as far as leveling up goes in Code Vein, I thought it was easy and simple, and I certainly like that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 2 of the cons, and there are really only 2 cons I could think of in regards of Code Vein. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video review of Code Vein for the PlayStation 4. As I mentioned earlier, game's also available on the Xbox One and PC via Steam. So now that I gave you the pros, why don't I give you the cons? And there are only really 2 cons I could think of in regards of Code Vein. The first one I do want to talk about is the frame rate. Now, for the most part, the frame rate runs fine, and pretty much runs fine. I haven't really ran into any issues where it made the game unplayable or anything like that. But there are occasions, sometimes, depending on the areas you're in, there are occasions where I do see the frame rate kind of dipping a little bit, though. Does it ruin the game? Not necessarily, but depending on the kind of situation you're in, that could be an issue if you're especially surrounded by a whole bunch of enemies. That could definitely be a problem. So yes, the frame rate for the most part runs fine, but there are times where it can sort of dip sometimes. And the last and not least, and this is really going to come down to what your own preference and all that stuff, is that no matter how you look at it, Code Vein is obviously a Souls-like game. And for some people, not everybody can get into those kind of games. Those games are known to be difficult and requires a lot of patience and all that. And like I said, that's really down to one's preference. So personally, I enjoy this one just like I did with Null and all that. So to me, I'm not against Souls-like games. I'm not perfect at those type of games, but I'm certainly not against any of those type of games. But again, it is a Souls-like game, and if you're not really a big fan of it, though, then Code Vein, I don't see that's going to change anybody's opinion. Overall, I am enjoying Code Vein. I do like the art style or the anime look to the game, though. The gameplay is fun, even though, like I mentioned earlier, even though it's a Souls-like game, it does have a bit more of a hack-and-slash feel to it, like Koei Tecmo's Null does. And, of course, the leveling up is, in my view, pretty easy. The only real big complaint, I would say, is the frame rate sometimes can dip though, and that could be an issue, especially if you're dealing with like a huge boss or a huge enemy, or if you're being surrounded, which is something you want to try to avoid, especially in a Souls-like game. And as always, it is a Souls-like game, so either if you like Souls-like games, you'll like this one. If you hate Souls-like games, you'll probably don't like this one. It all really comes down to your preference. But for me, I do enjoy it. While I don't see it topping Koei Tecmo's Null, which is one of my favorite Souls-like games out there, I will consider Code Vein the second best Souls-like game, though. I enjoy it. I like the hack-and-slash feel to the game and all that stuff. And it is fun. So to me, I would say Null in first place, Code Vein in second place, Bloodborne in third place, Sekiro Shadow Die Twice at fourth place, and the Dark Souls series in fifth place as far as Souls-like game, or actually Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order should come in sixth place on that one as well. So overall, if you like Souls-like games, though, then I would say give Code Vein a shot. I know I'm kind of late with this review and all that stuff, but a lot of things happen, so I'm trying to pick up on some of these reviews and all that stuff. But bottom line, if you like Souls-like games, then give Code Vein a try. Okay, this concludes my video review of Code Vein for the PS4. And again, these are my opinions. What are yours? What are your thoughts about Code Vein? Is it worth picking up for the PS4 or the Xbox One or PC via Steam? Are you into these kind of Souls-like games, or to you, you look at it as, oh great, another Souls-like game, why do any of these games exist, or anything like that? Do you agree with what I say in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, I hope you hit the like button, and I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!